that Benue State, north-central Nigeria, is sliding from being a food basket to the den of hunger due to insecurity is pathetic. Governor Samuel Ortom has appealed to the United Nations to pay attention to the humanitarian crisis in the state and to the north-central, as done in the northeast. Speaking in Makurdi during the signing of the Benue State Peace Building and Reconciliation Commission bill into law, the governor lamented that the state is passing through a serious humanitarian crisis with over 2 million internally displaced persons camp. Benue State seems to embody all of the humanitarian crisis at the moment, a state that used to be the food basket of the nation.
Well, what is, I think I personally would like to commend the governor for withstanding this wild wind, for almost 8 years now. It has been from one crisis to the other. But in spite of all these problems, how the state manages to survive is strange. You need a leader that is determined, that is selfless, to be able to lead this kind of a situation. We are talking about 2 million people in IDPs. What is the population of Benue State? 5.7 million people. So it's almost about 40% of the population of Benue State that are in IDPs. After this, we have about 80,500 children in IDPs. And Benue State used to be the hub when you are talking about vegetables, fruits, yam, sweet potatoes. So the impact on food security, not just on Benue State alone, on Nigeria is immense. So maybe I'm not monitoring the development, but I've not come across a situation where the federal government has shown enough commitment in terms of providing funds, special intervention funds, to deal with the crisis that the people of Benue State are facing. We should not live under the illusion that our problem is for people of Benue State alone. It's our problem. Because if there is instability in Benue, then, on the long run, it's going to affect us. I've seen a lot of people, in Lagos, in Ekiti, in Kwara, who, had to leave Benue State to search for greener pasture in other areas, therefore putting pressure on the population of these other frontier states. So I think the federal government should see this as a major problem when you have about 40% of population of a state, in IDPs. And there's problem of epidemic, problem of, most of these children can no longer go to school. These farmers are in IDPs, they can't go to their farms. So I think we should come to the aid of Benue State, not just the United Nations alone.
All right, but Governor Ortom is now calling on the United Nations because, as he put it, the federal government is not coming forth.
It's unfortunate. I think the governor is also talking about the need for the establishment of Benue
North Central
Development Commission, to just like it is done in the Northeast. Probably because in the Northeast, a lot of people are dying, which is also very bad. We talk about insurgency and all of that. So the attention seems to be focused on the Northeast, which is not wrong on its own. But I think what the governor is just trying to say is that there are also problems in the Benue axis, and from what we can see. And it's also saying that even though the UN gives aid to the region, the aids will not be enough to really solve the problem. We need special intervention funds, just like he said. And that can only be made possible through a special commission to take care of the problems within that region. But to me, I also wonder why we always go to these Oyibos to help us solve our problems. The problems they did not create in the first instance, but we still go to them. It is UN here, UN tomorrow. And you can see that the governor acknowledged all the aids from this United Nations, different organizations.
They are not enough.
But they are just not enough. Why can't we just start to think of how to solve our own problems? At least we can think, how do we solve the problems? How do we bring an end to issues that cause problems among us? Because food crisis is a major issue. I know that Benue is good when you talk about yam production and all of that. And if you go to the market now, you know how much a tuber of yam costs you. And despite the fact that we have new yam, it's not even reflecting again. You don't know the difference between old and new any longer. So the problem is not within the state alone. It's going to affect other parts of the country. And I think it's something that the federal government should also focus on.
All right. Now, like you said, the Benue State is not isolated in this situation. Other states. Now, does the federal government seem overwhelmed in this situation?
Well, I don't think the federal government, because if the federal government is overwhelmed, what do they expect states and local governments to do? You know, overwhelming challenges will always come. And what you expect is government to come out, you know, with a kind of, you know, an intervention that is superior, that can be able to tackle the problem. I've not seen that happening. In fact, some of the time, even when the governor speaks, what you see that, you know, the whole thing is politicized. You know, the presidency will issue a statement attacking him, condemning him, instead of creating the opportunity for a middle course, that this is our problem, even though we don't belong to the same party. You know, let us look for a common ground to resolve the problem. Because one major problem Benue State faces is about security. You know, and I think it goes down to the problem of the kind of garrison structure we run in Nigeria. If there has been state police, if the governor has control over the police commercial deployment of armed men and all that, he will have been able to resolve this problem. But he's at the mercy of a centralized system that automatically breeds bureaucracy and corruption. So while looking at the problem we should also know that it mirrors our collective challenge, you know, in terms of over centralization of power and the need for Nigeria to decolonize the system so that people can have some level of control over their political and security affairs. All
right, Madam Olabiso, your last take on this.
Yeah, I agree totally with him, and I think that government should, the government at the center should show more concern to the plight of the people, because if these children are not going to school, it means that the future of a whole lot of generation is being destroyed. So it's not even about what is happening now, it's about the implication for the future. We are talking about food crisis now. There are even greater implications for the future of the children that are being raised in ID camps where they don't have access to health, good health, they don't have access to education at any level. And they, you know, it's like ruining a generation of your youth, which shouldn't be.
All right, let's quickly take Ade from London. Hello, Ade.
Hello. Well done. How are you?
Thank you. I'm very good.
One thing I want people to know is this. Nigeria is a great country. You know, my governor, those said it, that we are one country, two systems. And that's exactly the truth. You see, the present government, all they are doing is just enjoying themselves. They don't care about the students. They don't care about who eats food or don't eat food. We are laughing stock all over the world because television is global. So all this thing going on now, they don't bother. People are trying by talking, is good, but there is no action. When this government leaves in May, the new government comes in, you will hear a lot of secrets coming out.
All right, thank you very much, Ade. Ms. Adwa, let me have your last take on that before I move on.
Well, we need to work harder, at the federal level and at the state level. We need to come to a consensus that things are wrong with the structure of Nigeria. We have to be very honest and dispassionate about it. And we need to come with a solution that can be able to address this problem once and for all. And that is to restructure the country.
All right.